Good day, here are today's top stories from the Pna Headlines. More than 300,000 food-poor Filipinos can now buy affordable rice through the WGP or Walang Gutom Program. This as the Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Department of Agriculture rolled out the Philippine government's 20 pesos per kilo rice program for the WGP beneficiaries. The DSWD signed a Memorandum of Understanding for the Benting Bigas Meron Na sa WGP during the program's redemption day at the Barangay 69 in Tondo, Manila on Monday. Under the WGP, each household beneficiary receives electronic benefit cards with 3,000 pesos worth of monthly food credits. They can buy the 20 peso per kilo rice through Kadiwa outlets and DA-accredited establishments that will participate in WGP food redemption days. The Benting Bigas Meron Na sa WGP is also implemented in Cebu Province and the Caraga region. To make transactions clearer and more transparent, the DSWD plans to get and distribute 4,700 kiosk units to all barangay redemption sites. Social Welfare Secretary Rex Gatchalian reiterated President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s directive to ensure the country's most vulnerable sector, especially food-poor households, have access to affordable rice. He said WGP Link Rice Program will be replicated in all of its affiliated retailers throughout the country. WGP is the flagship anti-hunger program of the Philippine government, aligned with Marcos administration's goal of ensuring food security in the country. The program aims to reach 750,000 beneficiaries before Marcos' term ends in 2028. The Department of Social Welfare and Development has ramped up preparations to help those who will be affected by a possible eruption of Taal volcano. The DSWD assured that its field office in Calabarzon is ready to provide assistance in case of Taal volcano seismic activities intensify. DSWD Assistant Secretary Irene Dumlao said they are making sure to act fast and be ever present during disasters, and as emphasized by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Last Sunday, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology or Phivolcs detected increased real-time seismic energy measures and low sulfur dioxide emission, which may trigger a steam-driven eruption. Dumlao said the agency is actively monitoring the situation along with concerned local government units and other national agencies. The Calabarzon Field Office has prepositioned over 207,000 boxes of family food packs and over 13,000 non-food items, which include hygiene, kitchen, sleeping, and family clothing kits. Quick response team members are on standby along with emergency equipment. National Resources and Logistic Management Bureau also continues to replenish supplies for resource augmentation to DSWD field offices. Meanwhile, Dumlao reminded residents living near Lake Taal to remain vigilant and to cooperate with their respective LGUs to ensure their safety. The Land Transportation Franchising Regulatory Board or LTFRB has called for a discussion with government financing institutions or GFIs to help jeepney operators struggling on their loan obligation under Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program or PUBMP. In a statement, LTFRB Chairman Teofilo Guadis III said there is a need for collaboration between their agency, the Development Bank of the Philippines, Land Bank of the Philippines, and other financing institutions to ease the financial burden on jeepney cooperatives and individual cooperators. The dialogue with GFI seeks to secure the welfare and sustainability of transport cooperatives who invested in modern jeepneys through loans supported by the PUBMP. Challenges among operators including declining ridership, rising maintenance costs, and fixed amortization schedules that do not account for daily income volatility. To address these concerns, Guadis is hoping to convince GFIs to consider a temporary postponement or adjustment in the payment schemes, particularly for cooperatives complying with LTFRB standards. The LTFRB is looking to cooperate with the Department of Transportation and GFIs to start high-level dialogue that may result in improved lending mechanism, extended repayment periods, or government-backed subsidies. The Council for Welfare of Children or CWC expressed support for a proposed bill regulating minors' access to social media, stating it will be a vital step in protecting Filipino youth from various threats online. In a Bagong Pilipinas interview, CWC Executive Director Undersecretary Angelo Tapales said the Council welcomed legislative efforts to tighten online safety. However, they urge lawmakers to carefully balance children's right to protection with their right to information and participation. Tapales raised concern over reports that proposed bill may impose a total ban on minors' access to social media, adding not all children should be blocked, particularly those who are using the platform for education and civic engagement. Senator Panfilo Lacson recently proposed an act regulating the use of social media platforms by minors, aiming to ban individuals under 18 years old from accessing social media. The proposed measure highlights links between excessive and mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and online harassment. Tapales encouraged parents to get involved in limiting social media usage on their children, citing that they should be first line of defense. He also called social media companies to adopt a clear content moderation rules to stop using children as online content for profit. Moving to business, local power firm Prime Electric Holdings and Aqua Power Company of Saudi Arabia have partnered to explore viable renewable energy projects in Western Visayas and Palawan. In a statement from More Electric and Power Corporation, the two companies signed on July 1 a joint study agreement to optimize power costs while maximizing the potential of renewable energy and energy storage technologies. Under the agreement, Prime Electric will provide technical data and insight on potential projects, while Aqua Power will handle development, financing, and operations. Prime Electric Holding President Roel Castro and said the two companies aim to stabilize power supply and harness the abundant renewable resources of Visayas and Palawan to augment the country's energy mix. He said they are not fast-tracking the rollout of clean energy projects, but also boosting technology transfer and contributing to long-term economic growth and community development. Meanwhile, the Department of Trade and Industry or DTI launched the e-commerce Philippine trustmark to ensure reliability of online transactions. Aligned with the Republic Act No. 11967 or the Internet Transactions Act of 2023, the trustmark is digital badge issued to online businesses that comply with fair e-commerce practices. The badge is seen to help consumers to identify if the online sellers are legit, protecting them from unfair trade practices and threat of scam and other fraudulent activities. DTI Secretary Cristina A. Roque said through the e-commerce Philippine trustmark, they will empower consumers to shop with greater confidence while encouraging businesses to follow established standards and uphold responsible online practices. The trustmark should be displayed especially on website, seller profiles, or product pages. For physical stores, it should be clearly visible at the holder's registered place of business. To apply for the trustmark, interested applicants must complete online application and submit the documents shown in the screen. Roque said the launch of e-commerce Philippine trustmark is a directive from President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to protect consumers from deceptive and unfair trade practices. And those are the latest and biggest stories from the PNA headlines. For more news update, visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. You may also watch the PNA headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under PNA News. I am John Dalistan. This is the PNA Headlines, bringing you stories that unite the nation.